Okay, welcome back. Let's take you straight now to Limpopo, where police in Dennilton have called on anyone with information regarding the killing of a station commander of Groblersdal to contact them. The 57-year-old colonel was gunned down yesterday as he was preparing to leave his home to attend a funeral. Our reporter Katlego Nyoni is working the story for us. He joins us now live for the latest. Katlego, very good morning to you. What more are you learning?
Good morning, Blaine, and to the viewers as well. We are here outside the family home of the Groblersdal police station, the station commander there at the police station, Colonel Jeffrey Siroka. We understand that he was gunned down in the early hours of Saturday morning as he was making preparations to attend a funeral. This incident has prompted the police in the province to launch a manhunt. It is unclear at this stage if this act was committed by a lone assailant or a group of suspects. The family has gathered here obviously in a somber state. We are joined by the deceased older brother, Dr. Sekgopane Siroka. Dr. Sekgopane, thank you very much for speaking to us this morning. We can imagine this is a devastating incident for the family and the mood must be quite down. How is the overall feeling at the family home of Colonel Siroka?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Nyoni and the viewers out there. Indeed, we devastated as a family through the untimely death of my younger brother, who was peace-loving and very supportive person. We can't imagine what could have made the assailants to do what they did. Hence, we still are investigating, and we appeal to members of the public who might have information that could lead to the arrest of the assailants to help the law enforcement agencies.
And at this particular stage, Dr. Siroka, it is quite unclear if this act was committed by an individual or a group of suspects. We also know that communities here claim to have heard the loud gunshots between 4 and 5 a.m. yesterday in the morning as the deceased was preparing to go for a funeral. Have you been able to interact with community members who may have heard anything?
Yeah, we at this stage we haven't come into contact with anyone who might have seen, but neighbors heard the gunshots, and when we were called in, we found him still lying and bleeding profusely, and hence we're still appealing to anyone who might have information to help, to help the police to bring these people to book.
And just to give us a sense of the late colonel, we know that he was an active member of the community. For example, he was a music conductor with a local choir here in the Siabusa area. He was also actively involved in the local church. Can you tell us about the deceased, the type of person and the type of station commander he was?
Yeah, even in the family, we know him as a very supportive and dependable person, very matured, and we depended on him on a number of things as a family. Even in the community itself, there's ample evidence of how he engaged with the communities and helped in the development thereof. Yeah, his life was about music and community.
Are you appealing to the local police to really speed up these investigations to try and determine circumstances around his killing?
Yeah, that's what we can do. Maybe that at least this matter has been given the attention it deserves. Yesterday we were with the provincial investigative people that were assigned with the duty to come and support and collect whatever piece of evidence that they might get. So as a family, we are encouraged at this stage by the involvement of the police at the highest level, taking into account how callous this incident has been and devastating to everyone who happened to know him. We get calls of support from people, from colleagues to community members, and that tends to comfort us.
Siroka, many thanks to you, and we are extending our condolences to your loss. Blaine, that is the deceased colonel older brother, Dr. Sekopane Seroka, basically explaining that deceased was a very dependable individual, and also just to give you a sense of the extensive experience that the late colonel had. He has worked in many districts. He has served under different police stations, from as far as Seshego in the Capricorn district to Mahulereng in the Waterberg district.
Right.
And at the time of his passing, he was working as a station commander here in the Sekhukhune district of Limpopo.
Katlego, this soon after a crime is committed, police will normally tell us that the motive of the killing is still being investigated, which is understandable. But talk to us about what we're learning with regard to the circumstances around this killing. Was anything stolen from the colonel? What are we learning with regards to, was he alone when he was leaving the home? What more information are police telling us?
The information that has so far been disseminated by the provincial SABC here in Limpopo is that it is unclear at the moment if this particular act was committed by a lone individual, by a lone assailant, or whether it was a group. We know that the deceased was preparing to leave for a funeral yesterday in the morning, and according to that report, it stated that it was at about 4:30 a.m. as he was preparing to leave for that particular funeral. Obviously, investigations have been launched, and the police Provincial Commissioner General Nekele Dwaba has urged anyone with information to make contact with one of the police investigators here in the province, and also the Crime Stop number. Anybody in the community and broadly that might have information that might lead to the apprehension of these suspects has been urged to make contact with the police. However, at this stage, investigations are quite in their fresh and early stages. We are expecting those to continue.
So just take us through the scene. I want to establish as much facts as possible. With regards to where you're standing now, paint the picture for us in terms of how this played out.
From what we hear and from what we understand, the suspect stepped out of his family home outside the gate just behind us as he was preparing to leave for a funeral. The deceased. As he was about to leave for the funeral early in the morning, you can see that a group of family members and close friends have already started to gather at the family home, and they're describing the mood as quite somber. The suspect had 3 children and a wife, and obviously he must have informed them about his plans to attend this funeral.
Yeah.
Now, we also know that the suspect's vehicle was then taken, the deceased vehicle was then taken by this unknown assailant, and it was later discovered abandoned by the local police between Katlego as well as Dennilton.
All right, Katlego, thank you very much indeed for your reporting. I understand details are sketchy at this stage. As soon as you hear any more information, come back to us and get you on air. Give the viewers as much information with regards to this crime as possible. Katlego Nyoni, they're live for us in Limpopo. Appreciate your reporting, sir.